people like Habitat for Humanity. So you can start to see we're getting leadership right, we're getting the staff right, we're getting the style right, and then we're going to work on the structure. So what are some other things you would recommend that this company does? How can we get mom to walk into Home Depot and go, I'm not buying anything but green board? Because guess what we found? This is another thing we found. Even if my house has already been built, if I need to replace a couple of sheets of plywood, now my cost is not that much more. You know, instead of paying $4 a sheet, maybe I paid $20 a sheet. That was more like it. It was more like 5 times. But it's only 2 boards, and I got fire resistance, no termites. I can do that. So we found a big market of people buying it by the sheets. They were willing to pay a couple $100 more bucks to get this great product. So again, we had to target in on that customer and move that customer to doing it, to going in and asking for it just like Stainmaster. So it became the Stainmaster strategy. So all of that was, but the real mover of this company and the real reason the product did become successful and placed a lot of homes down in Mississippi, actually more in Mississippi than in New Orleans, was because we got the right person at the top of coming in with the shared values, and people came out and felt like this was a great product for the environment. It wound up, and I called it green board because it wound up being a green play. And the green was not just in the green cash, the green was in, to get this product sold, we had to have the evangelist, the environmental. And how many of you have ever worked with environmental people? I mean, they are advocates. You know, better known affectionately as tree huggers. And thank goodness for them, because they helped move this company and got the 7S aligned. And it literally went from a style of, hey, we're here to build a factory, sell a lot of product, to we're here to do a lot of good. And the price is justified. And let me tell you why. And it came from the heart. So that was the green board product, the green board case. So which one is better, Royal Island? Which one would you rather be on, Royal Island or putting up green board in Mississippi? They both were fun projects. Okay, that is the final exam, 2 business cases. We come back to the 7S model, and 3.5 hours later, we have built a great company. Any questions going forward? I know I'm standing between you and lunch probably, but please let us know if there's anything I can help you with. You disagree with any part of it. That's a good, I love disagreement.
About the whole issue of leadership, are you just assuming that that's there?
No.
I mean, because we work with a lot of companies, and frankly, the owner is the problem.
Well, you know,
It's true.
you know, that's true. And you know what, here's the deal with leadership. And I'm going to protect the owners a little bit here, okay? I'm going to take their side a little bit. Have they been exposed to the right education? Totally. I know you all do a good job of doing that. But have they been exposed to the... I think owners are underestimated. I have seen too many instances where we bring in somebody else and replace the owner, and you know what? That doesn't have a high success rate either. So but there are times when the owner should step aside. And you know, I hit that point in my own company when we got to 600 people. I had to, you know, that's just not who I am, and I had to come to the decision. It's time to move this thing on. But I came to that decision. Nobody was going to tell me that. So I'm hoping if you expose them to this information and show them that the personality of the leader becomes the personality of the company and what they need to have to lead, they come to their own decision. I hadn't seen many instances where we told them that they're not the right fit and they go, yeah, you're right, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I think they have to come to that decision themselves, and that's what part of this course is driving to without directly. It's some hidden harmony in that. There's some hidden harmony in that message. Good question, though. There's another whole 4-hour course we have on leadership, and leadership is vital, and it's kind of blended throughout this whole course, but yes.
I don't want to lose any 50 cents. What made you get into this line of work? It sounds like you are a serialpreneur, is what we call them. Did you see any trends in education that led you to go into the educational field, or did you feel like you were, at the grocery store or at the gas station dispensing advice, and then you said,
Well, I've always, even when I had my IT company, we had an educational division. I've always had a passion for education, and that's what when I went back to Emory, and also what I've done over at West Georgia is a passion for education. Emory and West Georgia, education changed my life coming from Waycross, Georgia. First time I left Waycross was when I went over to West Georgia. And in fact, my dad sent me the back way so I wouldn't have to get on the interstate. I must have drawn through Albany, and we went way around everywhere. So, I have a passion for it. I know what education can do to lives. And I saw this was a market that was not being totally served. I saw there was good people like you all doing fast track, doing startup. They're doing great things over at Georgia State University in teaching students. But after somebody gets a company going, then what? And that then what was not answered in the market. So, and I think you can do a lot of good I think these folks do a lot of good for society. These people that build these companies, and you all know the passion it takes and the sacrifice it takes. So it's a societal thing. It's an educational thing. I think it's a good business. We've got 16 sponsors now with all this because of companies that want to make a difference for entrepreneurs. So, and we're going to take it. We're doing this on May 20th. The next one, we're going to go from 3 markets to 30 markets and on up. So it's a good business opportunity too. It's not all just do-gooder. I mean, I'll be honest with you. But I think there's an aspect of it to it. Yeah. Yes.
So what has been your experience at the beginning? You said like 80% will fail.
Of the growth company.
Of the growth companies will fail, and we should try to get it to 40 and then 20 and whatever. And it sounds like you worked with a lot. What has been your experience? The Royal Island one, I mean, he didn't take your advice. What has been your experience in, I guess the percentage that have taken your advice and did?
You saw Dr. Jeff Gallup's in that Entrepreneur video. He's an example of someone who has taken the advice, not all of the advice, but a good bit of it, and it has helped his company tremendously. And we got very loyal members of EA. They join EA. It's because we help them. Yes, absolutely. I'm seeing it make a big difference. And I've got to pat EA on the back here a little bit. And when we do make mistakes, I'm the first to say it, but I'm also first to take credit too, I guess. People say that, but it has made a difference, a lot of difference. There's nowhere else for them to get this information. So if you all taught Entrepreneur 2.0, you would make a big difference. What I'm teaching up here can be taught by anyone. I think we were the first company to to aggregate the information and put it in this format that we have. But you all could teach Entrepreneur 2.0.
I just want to talk to Carol's point and answer a little bit. I use Cliff's principles, some of his 7S with my clients, and I've been doing so for about a year. And I get more light bulbs in my consulting sessions just from the simple, principles where they actually figure it out a lot of times. it's a nice way to help them uncover really what's going on. And
Yeah.
it's simple, I mean, it's pretty simple to use, and
It's simple, this stuff is not difficult, and it
it pushes
does.
them to step back a little bit.
Eventually, they all solve their own problems. I don't really solve any of their problems. They figure it out, but I probably get them on a path to figure it out and not jump off the wrong path. With Jeff, Dr. Gallup's, he's got a $45 million enterprise, and there was a couple of instances where he was just going to get off the wrong path. And he would have found his way back, but years later, dollars later. So, like I said, Donna's correct. You all could teach this very easily and use it.